The definition of chance is the possibility of something happening. The definition of fate is the development of events outside of someone's control, and the definition of faith is the complete trust or confidence in someone or something. I am very scared of the chance of different outcomes happening, whether it's something ending badly or something that I think is good eventually hurting me. I get scared of that situation. This episode idea, this I guess I can kind of concept or way of thinking, it came to me when I was watching this movie called The Holiday, and I've just been on my movie grind recently because ever since I got out of surgery, I've had a lot more free time, more than I've realised. I probably had the same amount of time, like free time that I do now, but I've just figured out how to cover it up and how to fill up my time a lot more recently. And again, yeah, through getting surgery, I've just been watching a lot of movies, and this movie called The Holiday, and the basic, I guess, plot of it is these two girls move houses on other sides of the world. One's in LA and one girl's in some place in the UK, or maybe in England, I think. And they do a house swap, and they both end up finding love and whatnot. And there was this one scene where the American girl lives in England, and the guy who she's fallen in love with, they're both having an argument with each other about what's going to happen with them. And she said, there's a chance that this works. And when she said that quote there, it kind of just, like, I just had a quick flashback to a bunch of things that I didn't take a chance on. Because when you say the word chance, or you use it to describe having a potential of something, there's always the possibility of it ending positively or negatively. When we think of chance, when I think of, I guess, the possibility of anything happening, I become very, not complacent, but I like to let things pan out. And a lot of the time when my mates are telling me something, maybe it's about a girl, maybe it's about a situation, or they've applied for a job and they're stressing about it, I always say just leave it. Because sometimes it's better to let things pan out how they naturally will be, rather than you stuffing yourself up. Because most of the time we can become our own worst enemies with those kind of things, where we overanalyze, we just do too much, and we end up ruining it. I guess the thing that scares me, I guess, about things ending badly is that I know that there's a possibility of any result happening. We worry more about what can go wrong rather than what can go right. And that's myself included. I worry way too much about the bad stuff and what can negatively come from this. It takes so much more to put us in a good mood than it takes for us to put us in a bad mood. We have to have so many good things go right in order to be happy. Whereas if you just have one bad thing, your coffee order is stuffed up, someone is rude to you at work, you step in a puddle, you get a stain on your white t-shirt. For some people, that moment lets them ruin their entire day. And I guess to coincide, there's a good little word. Basically to look on a different perspective. Why do I say like an American? On a different perspective, you have to understand what is and what isn't in your control. And I think that's where a lot of people get confused and get muddled with and stress out about a lot. And I know this because I still struggle with this, and I struggled with this badly a lot when I was younger. Even year 10, when I was like from 16 to 18, with little like stuff about relationships, girls, grades. I was I would stress so much over about grades and I guess, making mates, especially when I moved schools. That was a huge stressor for me. And I had to realize what is in my control. For example, with moving schools, I can't choose who likes me and who doesn't like me, but I can choose how I treat other people. And I'll be completely honest. From year 7 to year 9, when I was at the first school that I was at, I was a bit of a fuckwit. Honestly, if I met myself in year 7 to year 9, I would not like myself. And that was because I was taller than some of the kids in my year level. I hit puberty earlier. I was decent at footy for my age, and I just let it all get to my head, and I was filled up by ego, and I let that take over myself, and it was a really bad thing, and I know that now. Whereas, and this is not to say, oh, I'm the fucking best guy in the world. I'm a fucking great bloke, but it's more so that I've actually realised I've put some seasoning into myself. I've got some sort of character, and I'm not just some fucking dickhead who thinks he's good at everything. Because that's honestly what I thought of. I thought of myself from year 7 to year 9 when I was at my first school, and that was honestly because I got chucked into the deep end. I put myself into a random environment that I wasn't used to. I knew 3, maybe 4 people at the new school that I moved to. And just to steer it back into the original, I guess, idea of what you can and can't control, I knew I could control how I acted with people. I knew I could control how I respond to people's personalities, and I can control how I am. I was myself. I didn't try and put on a persona. I didn't try and be this nonchalant king, walk into the new school trying to be top shit, because that was never going to work. I made sure just to be myself, and luckily I've made a lot of mates from that school, and I'm grateful for them every day. Every day that I'm with them, every day that I talk to them, because they're great people. And what I couldn't control was how they reacted to me. Not even just my friends, but my teachers, my peers, just the other people in my year level or even at the school. I can't control what they think about me. So there's no point in me even worrying about it. And I personally think that the only way that you can actually be comfortable with letting things pan out, let fate happen, is by having the utmost confidence that you've put 100% effort into whatever it is that you're pursuing or whatever you're doing, whether that's you stressing over your mark in your tests, or whether the girl likes you or not, or whether the people that you're trying to make mates with like you. If you've been yourself, if you're not a fuckwit to them, and you've just been authentic and been who you are, then there's nothing else that you can do. But I think what's worse than being scared of fate or chance is not trying or not putting in the effort. How are you going to expect to get something when you put in nothing? We can influence the chance of something happening. There's a chance of someone liking you platonically or romantically. There's a chance of getting a job. There's a chance of you getting healthier, and there's a chance of you getting drunk. There's also a chance of you tripping over in the next 30 minutes. Some of those you want to put effort into, some of them you don't, obviously. But you're actually not allowed to get mad at something if you don't try and you don't get the result you want. Nobody has ever got in a six-pack by eating 12 Big Macs a day and doing no exercise. No one has ever gotten sober by drinking more alcohol. It's completely counterintuitive. You can't expect the result that you want to get if you don't do the right thing and do it properly. You can influence chance. Chance always changes. The possibility of something changing, the possibility of something happening can always change depending on how much effort you put into it. Like I said before with those examples, the chance of you getting drunk right now might be 0.01%, but you can change that just by having a beer. Then your chance of getting drunk goes up. The chance of you getting someone to like you could be 10%. The girl thinks you're attractive, but you haven't really talked to her. You go up and have a conversation, talk about meaningful things, have a good convo with her, a little bit flirty. The chance of her liking you romantically might go up a little bit. For an example, last weekend, so when this goes out on Friday, last Saturday, I saw this girl out and I was like, shit, she's really attractive. And so, because I was planning this episode, I was like, look, if I'm going to talk about this, I have to at least experience this somehow. And long story short, I wasn't expecting anything from it. I literally just went up to her, said, hey, look, I thought you'd look really, really nice tonight. And yes, I did stutter as much then as I did just now. But I just went up to her and said, hey, I thought you looked really nice tonight. I don't want to be weird about it. I just wanted to let you know. And she went, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And then she gave me a half hug. And then I was like, okay, I'm sorry, I got to go. And then I left. And I didn't expect anything from it. But there was a chance, maybe, that she was interested in me. Probably the fact that she didn't know who I was probably 0.5%. Just a guess. But maybe after I gave her a compliment, she might have thought I was a little bit more attractive. And so maybe she was interested a little bit more. I wasn't looking for anything there. I just was trying to work on being confident with new people, and especially attractive women, because they're fucking scary. But you have to put in effort. There's no excuse for it. And as cringy as that story is, especially for me to say it, that was fucking stomach churning. I hate talking about that shit. But you have to put in effort. Like I said before, you never get something out of nothing. So why would you expect a result from putting in no effort? It makes no sense to me. But people expect it. Girls cannot expect to get the man of their dreams if they are not up to that standard. Might be controversial, but holy shit, I see so much on my Instagram about all these girls who don't do well. They don't do anything good for themselves. They're going out every single weekend. Not that that's a bad thing, but on top of that, they don't take care of their health. They don't pay for anything. They get people to pay for shit for them. And they expect to get a fit, wealthy, kind, well put together bloke as their husband. You can't get something out of nothing. And again, this might be a controversial take, but girls cannot expect for guys to go up to them every single time to approach or to show interest. To be fair, I personally think that majority of the time, guys should make the first move. But sometimes you do have that one bloke who's really shy, and he might be a shy, attractive bloke, and this girl wants him to come and say hi. But most of the time, nowadays, guys are very scared, including myself. I get shit scared by attractive women. And maybe that's just the thought of rejection or the thought of, I don't know, being embarrassed, like my last episode. It's just fucking scary. And it's hard to do. It's not easy. But girls can't expect to always have the guy coming up to them and making the first move. Because like I said before, some guys are really shy. Very, very, very shy. And girls don't realize that they have a 90% success rate when they approach a bloke, because they are the prize. And that just went way too off topic. That honestly brings us to the end of the episode. That was just the most random ending ever. I was just getting so into a topic about girls approaching guys. We'll save that conversation for a different video. But that brings us to the end of the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed this. A little bit of a shorter one. not too long. But yeah, I'm actually really happy with the way that this podcast is going, like the direction it's going in. Talking about more, I guess it's very generalized, but also kind of specific. It can apply like to a larger audience of people, but it's also a very specific feeling, like being embarrassed or aimlessness, stuff like that. I'm enjoying that. So honestly, if you guys have any ideas, any suggestions, please chuck in the comments below. I'll do my best to accommodate a video towards it, depending on the video that it is or the suggestion. And I hope you guys really enjoyed this episode, and we'll see you guys next week.